Hello, second grade. So today we are going to be learning how to add like fractions together. So these are fractions that have the same denominator, the same bottom number. So I'm going to be doing a couple examples on the board behind me. If you have any questions when you're doing your worksheet today, go ahead and come back to this video and just double check and see if you can answer your questions, okay? All right, let's go look at the board. So with all of these problems, we have models that kind of help us out, help us visualize what the fractions look like. So we might have a problem that looks like this. 1/4 and 1/4. So we are adding these two fractions together right here. So the addition sentence looks something like 1/4 plus 1/4. And we don't know what that equals yet. But we can use the model to help us kind of see it, help us visualize it. So you can even color them in, all right? So we know that this model right here is broken up into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 1/4 here and 1/4 here. We can even color them in to help us, right? So now let's figure out, all right, what's the new fraction? What does it look like? So I see now that we have 2 parts that are colored in. So 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4 total parts. So the new fraction that we have when we add those 2 smaller fractions together is 2/4, or another way you could say it is 2/4. And notice when you're adding them from left to right, you're only adding your top number together because the bottom number is the same. We're dealing with the same fraction there, so that number never changes, just the top number. All right, another example over here. This one's going to be a little bit more tricky. Watch this. So sometimes we can have a bigger fraction adding into a smaller fraction. So for this one, I put 2/3 and 1/3. So the addition sentence would look like this. So now we have 2/3 plus 1/3 equals, and this is the unknown, something we don't know yet. So let's take a look at it. So we're saying that these 2 blocks right here are 2/3. Let's make sure 1, 2, 3. Yep, it's split up into thirds. So we can color in those 2 blocks to show 2/3. All right, that's our 2/3 colored in, but we also have this 1/3 right here in our addition sentence, right? So we're going to color that in too. If you watched my video yesterday, I started showing fractions like this too. When we have the whole fraction colored in, think about that whole piece of pizza, whole pizza, it's one whole, right? So we call this 1, and I'm going to squeeze it in, whole. Another way that we could say it is also 3/3, but we're going to be sticking with this 1 whole right here. All right, and the last one is kind of a trickier one. So I'll even bend down for this one. All right, so we could have an addition sentence that says this: 1/2 plus, and let's throw a question mark in there. But we know what it equals. So right here we can see 1/2 plus another fraction equals 1, or 1 whole, right? So we can color in what we know. We know that this one right here is 1/2. We can color it in. And I know that the entire fraction is worth 1. We know that the whole thing is worth 1, but we don't know what this one is right here, right? But using the model, we can help ourselves try to figure it out. So we know that this part is 1 out of 2. There are 2 equal parts. 1 is colored. This one is also 1. So we know that that fraction right there has to be 1/2. So we can rewrite our addition sentence now. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. All right, that's my super quick mini lesson on adding fractions. The biggest rule that you need to remember is that these are like fractions that you're adding together, meaning you have the same bottom number, the denominator. They always have to be the same whenever you are adding them together. The only numbers you're adding together are really your top number. That's your numerator. All right, if you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'll help you out. Good luck.